Hello guys, and welcome back to another lure review. Today I'm going to be testing out the Savage Gear 3D River Roach. It's a paddle tail lure, and as you would have seen if you're a long time viewer of the channel, I have used this lure on a number of occasions, and it's probably one of my favourite lures if I'm honest. It's got that nice slow swimming action. You can fish it fast, you can fish it slow, you can get it down to the bottom. It's just a really good lure. But today we are going to be doing a review of it, and so like last time, we're going to be giving it 2 to 3 hours of fishing, and then we'll take it home and we'll give it a review. And again, if you do want to buy yourself some of these, obviously it comes in a kit. You get 2 per pack, and you also have to then buy your stinger system. But I'll put a link for both of those in the description below. But without further ado, let's get fishing. Well, that's the first cast with the River Roach on today's lure review, and hopefully we can have a quick start like we did last time. I don't know if you watched my previous lure review on the Daiwa Pro Rex Hybrid. If you haven't, go check it out. But we managed to hook into a fish first cast with that lure, so hopefully we can have the same sort of result today. Like I say, this River Roach is one of my favourite lures to use. You can fish it slow, you can fish it fast, and I've caught plenty of pike on it before, so I've got no doubt that we do have a good chance of getting into some fish today. Sun just starting to rise and it's starting to burn off the mist. It was quite a cold morning today, -2 in the car, foggy, misty, and a lot of ice on the roads. Definitely good conditions this morning for a bite, but now that sun's starting to burn that off, and the water's a lot clearer than when I was last here. Last time I was here with the Daiwa Hybrid, it was still quite a murky colour, the water, where we'd had so much rain, whereas now the visibility is a lot better. So I think this natural pattern of a roach would do the trick if there's a hungry pike about. One of the best things for me about a paddle tail lure is it's so diverse. You can use it in so many different waters. Like for example here, it's a relatively shallow lake, 6-7 foot I think in the deepest points, and I could still get that. You could still fish that sort of depth with a paddle tail. Obviously it's all about letting it sink on the cast and fishing it with a bit of a slower retrieve, and then again if the pike are nearer the upper layers, then you can obviously fish that depth as well. Just don't let it sink down, and you can vary your retrieve, slow, paused. And this is it's quite a slow sinking lure. This, I believe it is a slow sinking. They actually do advertise it as a slow sinking lure, so you can give it those nice little pauses just to stop it there in front of a pike's nose. If there's one following, it might encourage them to take it. For me, it's just an all-round great, paddle tails are just all-round great lures, and they've caught quite a few pike over the years for me. One thing I want to do with this lure review series that I've started up is get your guys' opinions as well. If you've used any of these lures that I've used, share your opinions in the comments. Obviously we all have different experiences with different lures, and we all have faith in different types and different colours. It all works for it's all about having confidence in what you're using. And also, if you have any lures that you would like to see reviewed on the channel, like I said, put it in the comments, and I'm sure it's something that I will look at doing in the future. The stinger's come out now, because this is a lure that I have used quite a lot before in the past, and I actually lost the last one, the second one in the set. It is very worn, as you can probably tell there. It's obviously where the stinger has come in and come out, and I've had a few pike on it as well, and it's just now not sitting right, so I do have to put that hook buried into that swim bait. And you get that with soft baits. They don't last as long as hard baits. When you catch a few pike and it just tears them up a little bit, you do have to replace them more often than your hard lures. But if you are enjoying the lure review so far, give it a like on the video, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. It's very much appreciated, and it means that you'll get notified whenever I do post a new video on the channel, which is always great. So thank you for you guys that do support the channel. It's very, very much appreciated. That was a bite then. Did feel like something had grabbed it, whether it just grabbed the tail. Oh yes, here we go. Cool, that's a good fish. That's a good fish. That's a very good fish. Oh, you're kidding me. He's let go and there's another pike that's just jumped up there. That was a good fish. That was a very good fish. Oh, no. I do like the weight of these lures as well. 70 grams, the 18 centimetre version is just a nice weight. Just a nice weight to cast about. This rod goes up to 100 grams for can cast up to 100 gram lures, or it's designed for lures up to 100 grams, and it does cast nicely. This is another great swim. I've had fish from here before in the past on this particular lure as well, so hopefully. The pikes do seem to tend to hold up in these sort of reedy bay areas. I mean, it's a great place to start if you are new to lure fishing. Find swims like this where you've got reeds, you've got snags. So that's the type of place where pike tend to hide up, and that's where they ambush their prey, wait for the bait fish to swim past, and then strike from the camouflage. Oh. Don't know whether that went over a branch or something. You get that initial like rush of adrenaline. You feel a bump on the lure. That's a pike. Yes, and we're in. There we go. I knew there'd be a pike clug in that reed line. Yes, we got him. We got him. Nowhere near as big as the one that we lost earlier, but a fish is a fish, that's for sure. And this is one of the best things about this particular lure, is that how it's rigged. As soon as that pike attacks, obviously the hook comes out of the body, and then the lure itself just slides up and down the trace, so you don't get as much damage as you would if the lures were fixed in, if the hooks were fixed into the actual lure. Lovely jubbly. Well, there we go, the river roach showing just how effective it actually is. We've only been fishing about 25 minutes. We've lost one, and then we've had this one. A little jack. Unfortunately we lost the bigger one, but you can't complain, can you, when you're having a bit of sport in winter. Let's slip her back and try and get another one. There we go, she's ready to go already, look. Well recovered. It's always important with pike to make sure they're well rested before you let them go, but this one's strong enough to swim off. She's ready to go, and there she goes. What a result. I think this lure is showing exactly why it's one of my favourite lures of all time, and why when I'm out on many sessions doing a bit of lure fishing, this would be the lure that I mainly start with if the conditions are right. But to be honest, there aren't many conditions when this lure doesn't do well. The paddle tail causes a lot of vibration through the water, so even in your murkier waters, I've had good fish, or quite a few fish, using this particular lure in murkier water. Obviously today it's a little bit better, the visibility's not actually too bad, but it's one of those lures that for all occasions and the different varying colour patterns you can get them in suits all matter of water quality. But it's definitely a pike catching lure. I'll show you just here in the margins, hopefully you can pick this up on the camera, of how well it swims. Tail kicking from side to side with the body just wobbling there in the water. Yes! And we're in again. You see that just come out of the reeds. Oh, hello. Just come out of the reeds just as I was bringing it in close, just about to lift it out of the water. Gave it a little pause, and this little jack came out and absolutely nailed it. Yeah. There we go, what a result. There we go, another nice little jack. A little bit smaller than the last one, but almost identical. The perfect killer machine. Even at this sort of size, you wouldn't want to be a roach ending up in that gob, that's for sure. Full of those teeth. The river roach is absolutely doing the business. Let's pop her back. And there she goes. Straight back into the depths. Well, that's 2 hours up with a Savage Gear 3D River Roach, and like I said at the start of the video, one of my favourite lures, and I've caught a lot of pike on it, and it just showed today that I've had two fish, and unfortunately we lost one as well at the start, which unfortunately was the bigger fish out of the three, but not to worry. Like I said, if you do want to purchase this lure, there'll be a link in the description, but for now we're going to take it home and we're going to give it a proper review. So on to the review of the Savage Gear 3D River Roach, and like I said, it's one of my favourite lures to use. I've used it in many situations, caught many fish. Now, as with the previous lure review, we're going to be going over 4 main components that I feel make a good lure. One, obviously the price, how cost effective is it? Secondly, we're going to be looking at the design of the lure, how well it's made and how well it looks. Thirdly, we're going to be looking at the adaptability of the lure. Now, what situations it suits and can you use it in different situations? And fourthly, we're going to be and for the final point, we're going to be looking at how confident I am in using that lure in future situations to catch myself a pike. So firstly, the price. The 18cm 70 gram version, which is the one I was using, is RRP £12.99, and that's 2 bodies, so that's 2 lures. Again, you don't get the hooks with the lure, which is where I feel this particular lure lets itself down in terms of the price. Now, I had a look at how much the tray system is from Savage Gear, and it's around £5.99, I believe that's for 2. Obviously, the prices may vary on different websites. So in total, you're looking at £19. That's the 2 lures and the 2 traces. £19 overall for 2 lures, which makes it down to £8.50 a lure. Now that's really pretty good in terms. It's pretty average. Well, actually, it's below average in most lures. But for a soft swim bait or a soft plastic, I feel that's probably, it's getting up there. So I've rated it an 8 out of 10 in terms of price, which I think is still very respectable. Like I say, it's a really good lure, and I feel that it is worth that price to use. Now the design of it is really, really good. It obviously looks ultra realistic like a roach. That paddle tail, it gives a lovely motion in the water, great action, a nice roll. The colours you can get it in, you can get, I believe it's 5 or 6 different colour patterns to suit different water clarity and also different conditions. So I believe design is one of its strongest points, which is why I've rated it a 9 out of 10. I can't really fault it in terms of its actual design. It looks super realistic. Now, I actually haven't got it with me because I did go fishing a couple of days later, and unfortunately it ended up in a tree on the other side of the bank, and I couldn't go and retrieve it. So I have got a few in the post ready to come back. So when I'm next out lure fishing, it'll definitely be in my armoury. Adaptability of the lure, so how it suits different situations, 9 out of 10. You can fish it in most situations. Like I say, you can weight it, you can put a heavier a heavier screw-in weight with a stinger system. If you wanted to fish deeper water, you can fish it shallow. It's completely up to you what sort of depth of water you want to fish it in, and it works The tail motion in the action of the lure is really good, whether you fish that slow or fast. So I can't really fault it. It suits all situations, and it's going to catch pike in deep water, shallow water, whether you're fishing it fast or whether you're fishing it slow. You can really pump it across the surf, almost like a weight bait. If you've rigged it shallow, you can actually just pump that across and then get it working under the surface, which is really cool. Again, it works with a slow retrieve, pulls in, fast retrieve, and then just letting it sit, which is how I got a couple of the bites fishing in the fishing part of this video. So that's a 9 out of 10. Confidence in the lure, as you can probably tell, I'm a big fan of this lure, so it's a 10 out of 10 from me. It's the lure that I will stick on first to give my first few casts in any swim, or even at the start of the session. It'll be the lure that I go to. So it's a 10 out of 10 from me for confidence, and it's going to catch me loads of pike in the future. So overall, with all those credentials, it averages a 9 out of 10, which is the highest mark we've given to a lure so far. So I'd 100% recommend having this in your lure armoury when you're out pike fishing. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video, and comment down below if there's any lures you do want to see in the lure review series. It's a series that I'm having a lot of fun with, going out and testing new lures and even lures that I've used before. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.